Hi, welcome to Real Magic Review. My name is Steve Faulkner and this is Crystal Clear by Bob Kohler. Before we do this, please like and subscribe. If you like it and you want to subscribe to it, share it if you want. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Tell people about it. Do that. And check out onlinemagic.co. That's my membership site. Over 900 videos, live sessions nearly every week. And they are very, very good. And they're all uploaded as well. So there's 210. And I don't think there's any better way of learning magic. Well, there might be. But it's a good way of learning about magic by listening to special guests come on and discuss different topics, as well as teaching tricks and listening to me waffle. There probably is a better way of learning it than that. But people talking about magic is a good way. So check out onlinemagic.co, please. Yeah, that'd be good. And follow me on Instagram at Steve Faulkner. The podcast, I've just recorded another one with Andy Gladwin, which was really good. It's always a pleasure to talk to Andy. He's very transparent and we go pretty deep pretty quickly. So have a look at that. That's Steve Faulkner's Magic Show, wherever you get your podcasts. Right. Crystal Clear. This was exciting because I've always loved blister tricks. If you don't know, blister tricks are when one of the ones I used to have, I can't remember who put it out. That's terrible, isn't it? But there are many different versions, but someone would pick a card and you would burn your finger or whatever and say, I've got a blister on my finger, and it would say 7 of hearts in the blister. It looks like a real blister on your finger. Great. I've always loved that stuff. I've always loved kind of body magic. Really, one of my favourite things to play with at the moment is Titan's Finger. If you haven't checked it out, Murphy's Magic put it out. It's brilliant, by Titanus. I got into that, this is an aside, I got into that reading Charlie Fry's book, which is back there, and he said it's in his everyday carry, and I thought, if it's good enough for Charlie Fry, it's good enough for me, and it's brilliant. I'm not going to give anything away, but you'll get it and go, I'll never get away with that, and you will, and it's easy, and you'll love it. And this is very similar to that, in the fact that it uses a similar kind of thing, but a very, very different effect. So it is a blister effect, but the way Bob makes his stuff is with detail, and there's more to this than meets the eye. So Chris Rawlins has produced this, which is why I was also very interested. I love Chris's stuff. And with this, you get the crystal. There is, again, more to that. There isn't. I mean, it's a crystal. It doesn't do anything, but it's a beautiful item. And when you get something out that is interesting to people, it sparks off the neural pathways and people get interested. So straight away, we've got something that people are fascinated with, especially if you present it in this way. And you can use the crystal for different mentalism effects, which we'll go into in a minute. But this is presented as a healing crystal. So you burn your finger. This is a very basic way of doing it. There's more presentation in the download, and there's quite a lot of detail about it. Show that, oh, hang on. Oh, that's a bit much. It's blistered. And you show it underneath the crystal, and it's great because it really looks like that blister's moving around, and then gradually the crystal heals it, and you've got a healed effect as well there. So that's brilliant, and I love it. But I was interested to see what additions there were to this. And going back to what I was just about to say is Chris performs this, and I love the way he does get people off the street, brings them into a cafe and does this thing, and they're just totally, don't know what's going to happen. And he performs it with a doctor, which was really interesting, especially when you're talking about healing, which is a great response, very sort of as you'd expect from a doctor. A non-believer, so he goes into a clothes shop, and the non-believer, the response is so good. And he goes into a crystal shop, a kind of new age shop, which was really interesting as well. And these three, or there's another presentation as well, which escapes me at the moment, to a different person, but I like the way that depending on the people you're performing it to, it feels like a very different effect. So obviously someone in a new age shop is going to be more open to that kind of thing than someone like a doctor or a non-believer. So straight away you get the same presentation with almost a very different effect kind of, or a different feel to it. And that's the good thing about this. You can present it as you like. So for those people that don't want the more kind of new agey, it's a healing crystal thing, you can play on that and say, look, I don't really believe in this stuff as well, but this is nuts. I got this from a shop, and you just present it. Now, it's super easy, but there is detail in this. When you know about blister tricks, you know the main method, but there's certain things to think about. So I did it the other day when I didn't get any footage of it. I apologise, but I'd kind of gone a bit over the top with the prep bit of it, and it didn't look so good. So less is more with these kind of effects, and you want to play with it. But the way it's incorporated, so there's no kind of misdirection needed. It is pretty much self-working, which I know a lot of tricks say that, but they aren't. You're going to be able to do this straight away, but do watch all of the downloads to get those lovely details from Bob. And as Bob says, and as Chris demonstrates, this is nice to be a kind of prelude to a different effect. So Chris says, this is also used for different things, and he does a standard mentalism effect, and I mean that not in a bad way, but as a lot of mentalists do, which is I want you to write someone down that you know, etc., etc., and at the end you look into the crystal after you've done the blister thing, and you see the name of that person. You sort of say, "Oh, the name of this person is," and I think that's the probably magically or in a mentalism way the stronger effect. So it's a really nice in to that effect. Doing it on its own really does work, but I have found that doing it as part of, before you do that real kind of show-stopping thing that we all know just completely fries people, just elongates that effect and makes it into something. It creates something out of this that is more than they originally think. So not only does it heal, but you can see into it, and you can get the power from the crystal. So I think this is, for me, for certain events, a better presentation than a lot of blister effects. It's not for every event, so I did take it to Glastonbury, but I found that actually it's nicer with a quieter, more intimate thing where you can really sit with people. And again, maybe you've done something beforehand, that some tarot stuff or some readings, and we can use this for a reading. So we can, before we get the name, as many of you will know, but for those of you that don't, it's a really good opportunity to practice your cold reading, to practice, okay, you know the name of this person, what information can you give them about this person before you actually present the name. So, this oracle, this piece of equipment that I think importantly comes in this love, it's not something you just get out and go, oh, I've got a crystal. It's something you kind of present, you give it care, you create focus, and you create something that's genuinely memorable for that person. I think it's great. And there's not loads more to say about it. It does what it does very well. There are spare things of the things you need, so they're going to last you forever. And as I said, it's built into all the things you use. So there's not much prep, but it's all done for you. But the lighter is very important, and you can use any lighter, but Bob takes you through how to kind of adapt things if you need to, but mostly you won't. So I love it. I love, as you know, so I'm slightly biased, I love the things that Chris brings out, and this has kind of lived up to expectation for me. If you like your blister effects, if you like things to be a little bit more focused down, intimate, this is a really good addition, and it kind of feels unlike anything else. So it's a good complement to the mentalism you do. And it's super easy, and you're going to be able to do it straight away, and you're going to be able to practice your cold reading or your readings if you want to create something a little bit longer. So there you go. Crystal clear. Chris Rawlins, Bob Kohler. Sorry about the mic. It's a bit more messy than usual, but I've just recorded a lovely podcast. So do have a listen to that. That'll be on Steve Faulkner's Magic Show by the time this goes out, or just afterwards. And listen to all the stuff on there. If you see images you've never heard of, do listen to it. One of the favourites recently has been with Dave Forrest, where we do talk about our workshop that has now been and gone, but it's still worth listening to because Dave's a great person. And Rick Mao, listen to the Rick Mao one. Listen to all of them. This is getting boring now, isn't it? So have a look at onlinemagic.co as well, where we discuss all things magic, and you've got 900 tutorials on there already. And you can request things, and like and subscribe if you like it and you want to subscribe to it. And I think that's it. Follow me on Instagram at Steve Faulkner at Real Magic Review. Take care. Have a great one. See you later.